All right, coming at you today with a big project. This tractor, which is, I don't know, 3 years old or so, not very many hours on it. I mean, you know, it's a lawn tractor. I use it to mow my yard. It won't start anymore. The starter just can't turn the engine over because of compression lock. And I had an older video I did on adjusting the valves that's supposed to fix that issue, but it keeps happening. And so I researched it a little bit more, and it turns out that the camshaft needs to be replaced because of this mechanism that's on the camshaft that allows the exhaust valves to bump open just a little bit in order to relieve that compression so the starter can continue to turn the engine over and start it. So what we're going to have to do is take the motor out and take the camshaft out and replace the whole thing.
So let's get started.
Let's get started. Bolts to undo the bolts connecting the engine to the chassis are it's a 9/16. Okay, I'm having to jack the front end of this thing up because I can't get the main drive pulley. I can't get that bolt out without using an impact, or, you know, if you can figure out a way to keep the cylinder from moving, you won't have to do that. But I'm going to go the easy way and just use an impact. Two more bolts in the back. Well, there's a little tiny screw right there. Look at that. Okay, there should be. The whole problem with getting this engine out is underneath. I'll show you that we've got this belt comes off no problem, but this main drive belt, which allows the motor to go forward and reverse, this needs to come off too. So the next big thing to do is pull this pulley off, which was my main concern with this entire ordeal. Saw lots of horror stories on the internet about people trying to do this, and you know, that's really going to apply if you have an old mower that has maybe a rust buildup, but this one doesn't. So I'm kind of hoping it's just going to pop off of there. There's no way I can pull it off, and I generally wouldn't recommend using something like a puller, which I consider doing, as you can see there, but I'm not going to do that. Taking trusty mallet right here and a trusty piece of wood I found in the garage, and this is how exciting this gets. I'm actually going to put something below it in order to catch it and not so it won't bend or break when it hits the ground. I think this broom will work nicely. So basically just gonna give it a few decent whacks and hope it comes down, and not gonna hit it too hard because it is connected to the crankshaft after all. And I think I heard a sound. Oh yeah, it's almost there, and the only reason it stopped is because I put the bolt back in. There we go. Off. Easy peasy. Hopefully yours does the same. When you put this thing back on, put some anti-seize in there for the future if you have to do this again, and it'll come off real easy for you next time. So that's that. Real happy about that. So now all we have to do is lift this motor out, and I don't think it's going to be that heavy. So here we go. She should come right on out. There you go. There's your 21 horsepower motor. Okay, so what I did was pretty easy. Instead of flipping the motor and laying it back here, I put it on a 3/4 inch board, and that way the case right here is not touching, and this is the part we're going to be removing. So you can see back there those fins don't hit the board either, so hopefully this is going to work out just fine. I still have to wait for my parts, so that's going to be a video, but I wanted to get this done before the parts came so I could just kind of go nuts and get it done real quick. But